Everybody, welcome to this video. And people asked me to show a little bit more about Notion, how to use Notion, because of the previous videos I have shared with you here in the channel and the template that I have for a digital grimoire in Notion. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use Notion to take your spiritual notes or any notes that you want and maybe build your own digital grimoire. Okay, so I have here it ready for we to start from the beginning. If you are interested on my personal template, it is for sale. The link is down below, and on my channel you can see all the videos of me going through every part so you know exactly how the template works. Okay, so let's start here. What I did here was create a new account on Ocean so that I can show you everything that you get from start on this app, on this platform. What you're going to do is um, go to their website. You can go to notion.so, and I'm going to link things below or pin a comment with the information that you need. And you can register an account to start using Notion. Once you do that, you will be greeted with something like this here. My sidebar is hidden, but I can just keep it open like this or keep it hidden, and then when I go with my mouse, it shows all the options. And I am using an app here, so you can use it on your browser, whatever you use. It may be Google Chrome, it may be Safari, it may be Firefox, doesn't matter. You can access Notion through that. I downloaded the app because there is an app for your computer, there's an app for tablets, for phones, for basically everything. So you can download the app and use it. I do prefer setting up the pages and building the templates and everything using a computer or at the best a tablet with a keyboard, because there are just certain things that you have to like drag and drop to make them find the correct position and to organize things. It's just easier if you are in like a big screen with the aid of a keyboard and a mouse. But you can totally set simple things using your phone or any device that you have available to you. When you create your account and you log in, the first thing they are going to ask is a bunch of just general questions on how you're going to use Notion and all of that. And then you get to a first screen that looks a little bit like this. These pages may vary depending on what you answered on that first survey that they give you, if you're going to use Notion for productivity or to take notes or to build websites, which you can do, by the way. And then they are going to populate here with some pre-made pages that you can explore if you want. I usually just delete them and start from scratch, but you can see like kind of the things you can do there. I'm just going to go ahead and delete basically everything here, and you just go with your mouse, find this menu, click on it, and move to trash. That's all you have to do. And then your space here is going to be empty when you do all the deleting. Yes, okay, let's do this. To archive a team space, it just asks you to type this. Oh, I have to type the name of my team space. Okay. I don't know why he created a team space here. Oh, maybe it was because I said I was going to use Notion for work. So it creates a team space that you can futurely share with other people to collaborate with. But I don't want it now. So I'm just going to delete everything. Okay, there we have it. And once you delete everything, it's going to show you this message that basically means you don't have any page. The last page you had was this one and you deleted it. That's just it. So let's create a page. And you can do that just by clicking here on private, the plus sign, and it will add pages for you whenever you want. You can also use shortcuts on your computer like Control N or Command N, depending on the system you're using. And here you can create your notes. So let's say we have notes on divination. You can just put the title and start writing about divination. Okay? So this is basically it. And you can just use as a simple document. Just keep typing, enter, typing, and keep adding content to your page. However, Notion has some special features. So you can decorate your page by adding an icon. So it puts a standard icon and then you can choose an emoji, some of the predefined icons that you can change colors. Let's make purple and let's put a little book. You can add a cover that you can choose from the predefined gallery. You can upload something from your computer. You can add the link for an image, or you can search on this platform here that has free images that you can use anytime you want. So it's up to you. I don't always put an image on my pages. It really depends if I want like the extra decoration, but you can do that if you want. Now, what else can you do in Notion? We saw texts here. We have some different types of blocks. Everything here, if you go with your mouse, you can see these menus. Each menu means that you have a different block. So this is a block, and let's say I copy this just because I don't want to type a lot of things. And let's say I wrote a big paragraph. The full paragraph is a single block. See how it's selected? And I have options for this block. If I want to add some comments for a future edit, maybe you're writing a book and you want to add a comment at a specific part so that you can revisit it and change it, you can do it here. You can make suggestions. These two, I think they are great if you're working with someone else, if you share it and the person makes changes and you make changes as well. You can communicate kind of using these two options here, comments and suggestions. They have an AI that is limited on the free version, but you can try that on. You can delete if you don't like what is in here. Duplicate, you can turn into another type of block. And here we have like a sample of what you can do in Notion, but we're going to come back here in a moment. You can copy the link to this block to use later in other pages or synchronize exactly what is in here to other pages in Notion. You can move to another page or you can change color for text or for background. Let's say we want to have a highlighted text, we can highlight the text. But what blocks can we make in Notion? If you use at any point any of these plus signs, it's going to create right below this block that you're using here. It's going to create a new block and then you can choose what's the type of block that you're using next. You can also just use the command and you can see that it gives like a little help text in here. It says write something, press space for AI or the bar for comments. Okay, we want the comments, so let's use the bar. And I use this a lot because it saves me time from keep clicking on plus signs and menus and things like that. I just use the bar and it gives me all the options of what I can create. So you can create a simple text, which we did here. You can create a new page inside this page. So you can have like, you can think of this one, even though they are pages in Notions, you can kind of think of them like a folder, and then you create pages inside that folder. So you can have like a tree nested structure on with pages inside pages inside pages inside pages, and then you keep growing your knowledge however you want. You can make a to-do list. So you can have items that you will check whenever you do them. That can be useful. If you are on a to-do list and you don't want any more to-dos, you can just press enter twice and it's going to go back to the normal block, which is basically a text that you can change into something else by using the command that I just showed you. You can have headings of first, second, and third order. So if you want to organize your text with titles and subtitles and sub-subtitles, you can do that using those. And they basically just create a bolder, bigger text that you can just, use as a organization like tag for your document, just like you do in any note-taking app. But let's go a little bit faster so you can see all the blocks that you can create. You can create a simple table, just like in any document. You can create a bulleted list, a numbered list, a toggle list. This one is interesting because it's like a specific list that you can give more details. So you have an item and details for that item. And when we close it and enter, you can have another item for that same list, and you can give more details for that different item. So you can have this type of organization here as well. And let's see what else. Okay, so we have target list. You can have a quote, and you can kind of see here on the side, it shows you a little preview of how it would work for you. You can put a divider, just a horizontal line to section your page. You can link to another page. So if another page already exists somewhere else here on your Notion, you can make a link for it. So it's kind of like a shortcut to go to that page. You can do that. You can make a call out, which is basically like a quote. It's a separate block that has a little icon like so, and you can add some information that is going to be like highlighted. What else can we do here? Let's keep going. Then we have the Notion AI options, which I'm not going to cover in this video because they are like a whole video on themselves, and it's a paid feature. You have like a limited amount of things you can do here on the free version, so let's not dwell into that right now. You can add images, a web bookmark, so you can get a web page link and it creates like a bookmark in here. It's not just a link, but like a little preview of the page, a little small preview of the page. You can embed a video, you can put audio, you can create code too, if you're into that. I certainly do sometimes. You can add files, so it kind of works as a little vault that you can add like PDFs and other documents if that makes sense to you. And then we have databases and a few other blocks. Let's leave databases for later because I think they are the most interesting part of Notion and the most useful, and my templates are heavily based on database because they are so powerful. So let's move on to the advanced blocks. We have more AI blocks in here, but again, we're not going to treat AI on this specific video. And the advanced blocks are table of contents. So I usually put this in the beginning, but let's put it here anyways. It creates a contents list. So if I have more like titles here, it's going to create like a little index that I can use to go faster to other parts of the document. Let's put it in the very beginning of our document. That's usually what I do. And I want to go to this title one. So I press and it scrolls down exactly to that part. And it's automatic. As you keep adding titles, they are keep showing up in here in the correct like order, like title 1, 2, and 3. They are going to just show. Let's go back to advanced page, advanced functions. You have a block equation. So for math equations, you can create buttons to do specific tasks. These are also very specific, so I cannot put it in this video, but if you're interested, you can let me know in the comments and I can make another video all about this. It's almost like an automation. It's not exactly an automation because you have to press the button, but it has like you can set the button to do certain things when it's pressed. You have breadcrumbs. So in this case, we only have the divination page, but let's say we have another page in here. Let's create one. I'm going to call it just page 2. In this page 2, let's create a breadcrumb so I can keep typing until I find the one that I want. And you see divination page 2. It kind of shows you the address you're working with, which is basically this thing that is up here on top of my Notion. So I don't use that very often because I usually come to this bar here on top, but there is a function that we have inside of the Notion blocks. What else can I show you on this video? We have synced blocks. So basically what synced blocks do, and again, this is another video because there's a lot to cover in here, but basically what it does is I can get any of these blocks that I created here, turn them into a synced block, and I can get almost like a link that I can paste this block into any other page on my Notion that I want. So let's say you have a reference for a specific practice that you have, and for a specific spell, I don't know, or a specific mini ritual, or how to create a circle, and you want that specific information to be available in every ritual page that you create, you can turn it into a synced block, and everywhere you put that synced block is going to show that information. And if you change that information on any of those blocks, it's going to automatically be replicated to all the other synced blocks that you have. So that can be very useful. We have more titles here, but these titles work combined with the toggle. So you have a title that can be collapsed, basically. You can create columns from 2 to 5 columns, and we have a specific code language called Mermaid, which is also like something advanced and a video all of it in itself. You can mention a person. So if you're sharing your page with someone, you're collaborating on something, you can mention that person on any part of the text by using these inline comments. You can mention a page. So instead of having like oops, I created one by mistake here. But instead of having, let's say this one that is like a link to basically this same page here, because that is the only thing we have in Notion, I cannot write on this line. It's just the link. The other one that I showed you on the inline functions here, it's a mention of that page. So I can keep writing on the same line, like it's part of the text. So this link becomes part of the text. So that's also interesting depending on what you want to create in here. You can put a date reminder that is going to like give you a little pop-up on your device whenever that date comes around. So like call mom tomorrow when tomorrow comes, and you can put a time to, it's going to give you a notification. It's particularly interesting to use it on if you're going to use Notion on your phone, because you really get the notification, it's quite useful. You can add an emoji, and you can add equations in line too. So you can put an equation and keep writing after that equation. You can embed a lot of things as well. You can embed maps, tweets, documents from Google, PDFs, maps, and all these other platforms here that if you use any, and there's like a lot in here, you can just put them there. And more advanced stuff from databases that are outside of Notion that we are not going to cover here because I don't think it's interesting at this point if you're just learning Notion. Okay? And you can import information from other places. Okay? So that's the types of blocks we have. And as I said, you can at any time access one of these blocks by using the bar. And if you remember what you want, let's say we want a heading 2, but I want the toggle heading 2. It's going to show me the options here. I can have heading 2 or I can have the toggle heading 2. And you can create whatever you want here. And remember our index, see how it has everything that we used, every section that we made here, see, is showing up here. So these are the things you can do on a basic page on Notion. What I like to do on Notion though is creating databases. So let me create a new page here, and you can just start typing as we did on the previous page, or you can come here and choose how to get started, and on the menu you have the options for all the databases that you can create. The simplest one is a table database that is in here, and we want a new table because we don't have anything yet. You can link to an existing table that you already have, but I usually just create a new one. And let's say this is a table for tarot study. So let's call it tarot cards. We can add a card icon like this one. And this column is going to be the card. We can have another column that can take any of these properties. It can be a text, it can be a number, it can be a select property. So you think like tags or categories. So it can be a single select or a multi-select. Let's put a single select because I want to tell what type of card this is. And let's say we have the Fool first, right? And the Fool is a major arcana card. We can have the Ace of Wands here, for example, and the Ace of Wands is a minor arcana card. The same way we can have a select property, and you can see how smart Notion is. It's already suggesting a card suit because it's understanding but by what we typed in here that we are talking about a deck. So yes, I want that Notion. Thank you very much. And a card suit, and I'm going to call here, I like to think of the major arcana as the spirit suit, and the other ones are the other elements. So this one is the wands, which would be fire, but you can do whatever you want. I want to put a number. Let's put a number to tell what's the number of the card. And the number of the Fool is number 0, actually. Yeah. I'm going to drag it to the beginning and reduce the size because it's too big. So you can just play around with a table just like you would in a document, but this is more powerful because it's a database. What does that mean? It means that each line here is not just a line on a table, it's also a page that I can then come inside and put information about the card, put images, just work as I normally would on a Notion page. Okay, so that's a database. It's like a collection of pages and documents and stuff here. You can have a column for the card meaning. You can also have a column for the reverse meaning if you do reversals. Reversal meaning. And you can have more information if you want to have the planetary association, if you want to have the alchemic association, or whatever association you want to have, you can put all of these in these tables here. And that's good because then you can create filters, you can sort things based on different columns, and at the end you still have here for like more detailed information. So think about these ones like keywords. So for example, the full would be take a risk, leap of faith, and so on and so on. How many keywords you want to put in here. Same thing for reversals. Put the key reversal words in here, and inside of here you can elaborate more. Put what you understand from that card. What does it mean to you? What the symbols represent? So the white flower, the white dog. What do all of that represent? And you can have like your own database of tarot meanings. You can also add, let's go through all the possible properties here. So you just know what is available to you. So we gone through text, number select, and multi-select. Status, and this is particularly useful when you have like tasks or checklists, because you can do like ongoing, done, not started, and things like that, like a process, you know. But it kind of works similar to the select properties. You have like little tags, but they are like in a linear process kind of way. You can add dates. You can add a link to another person. Again, only if you're sharing this with someone. You can add file and media. I use this usually to put an image of the card, so I can create different databases for different decks that I own. So I can put an image of that particular um, deck that I'm using. Let's do this. No, let's not do this. I'm going to show an alternative because I don't think I have any images on my computer now to put in here, but I'm going to show you what would I would do if I put a files or media item here. So I can put like a card image, for example. Okay, so what else do we have here? We can have a checkbox. So again, the database can work as kind of a checklist. I use this to create wish lists. This is very good for wish lists, in my opinion. You can put a URL. So if there is a page with information about that specific card or that specific line, you can use that. Email, telephone, you can create formulas, which is going to be another video all on itself, because this a little bit complicated if you're not used to those type of things. You can create relations and roll-ups, which is basically connecting different databases inside of your Notion and take information from one database and bring it to the other. Again, it's going to be a video all on itself. You can put the created time, the created by, so who created that specific line, and modified date and person. You can create a button and put a number ID that is randomly, like not randomly, but specifically generated in Notion, and every ID is going to be different on every line. I use this for my random tarot templates. So again, go to my playlist and you're going to see that my template has a tarot page and it works kind of a tarot app. and it can generate a random card for you, and it uses that function to guarantee like a individual pull every time, so you don't get more than what you, the one card or that what you want. Okay, so this is how to create a database. We create the table here, but we could have created a gallery, a timeline, a calendar, and we can in fact change the visual here to any other format. If we come to this menu here on top, these three dots, we can change the layout from table to any of the other database formats. So I can do it here, or I can just create a new tab with any of those new formats. So let's say I want to create a gallery, and now I'm going to show you something interesting. Here we had the image column. Let's imagine I put an image in here and I have the image of the card. I would make it show in here. Since I cannot do that, let me just improvise something. I'm going to put like the cover, but what I would do is come to these three dots on the correct view that you want. Okay, these are called views, and I will go to my layout, and in here I can choose what to show. I want to show, I can show my card image, but since I don't have anything, let me show you what would it look like. I'm going to show the cover. So there is an image on the cover, it's showing the image. If I had an image on the card image, it's going to show the card image here. I use put to fit the image, since the card is like a vertical thing and this is like a horizontal thing. I also mark the fit image so the card shows up perfectly on my Notion. Okay, and you can also change the size of this card. I usually like to put it small, like just a little block in here, and I like to put it to open on the side. What does that mean? If I click here, it opens on this side and I still have access on the other side, my original database. The other options you have is to open it as a center, so like a little overlay page that comes here in the center of your screen, or as a full page. So when you click, it changes completely the whole page and goes into this one that you clicked. I prefer the side pick because I can work in here and I can still like change things in here if I want to. I can also just increase the size to full page by clicking here, and then if I want to go back, I go back here to tarot cards and I'm back to the original. And the other formats that we have, boards, they work by using any of my tag columns. So you can choose what's the tag you want to use. So for example, I can come here and the group it's using is the type of card, but I can use the suit too because the suit is also like little tags. I can use other things as well, like I can use the meaning, but since every meaning is going to be like different for every card, it's basically going to turn into a like almost endless line of one card beside the other, so I don't see the point of doing that. But you can use anything. It's especially useful when you use the select properties. So I can also create more cards in here. So the two of wands, I can create here the magician, and you see it's already on the right column. Other formats that we have for database is timeline and calendar, which make use of dates, and we didn't put dates in here, so I'm not going to work on them. But if you have dates, it's just going to show each block on their correct date on the calendar view. And for the timeline, it's just going to show like lines showing where that card is. So if it's 12th of November, that card is going to be positioned on the timeline on the point 12th of November. You can make a list, which is just a little list, very simple, the gallery we went through, and we can make a chart, which is quite nice. For example, here it showed me the type. So I have one card registered as major arcana, one as minor arcana, and the other two don't have a type. You can change that by clicking on this edit chart, and instead of type we can see the card suit. So I have two ones, two spirit, which is basically the major as I said, and if you have more it would show more in here, and we have editing options for colors and everything here. So that's it. That's why I think Notion is super powerful, not just because you have like a awesome note-taking app, but you can also create these databases which are basically a collection of data and information that you can sort, organize, show in different formats, and it's going to be very useful. If you're interested in learning more about Notion, I'm going to come up with more videos, more practical videos. This was more of a tutorial on how you can get started with Notion, but I'm going to show more specific videos creating specific things. And you can also go to my playlists on this channel and see my Grimoire template, because there is absolutely a lot in there. It's like a treasure that I shared with the world, and you can see there how I use Notion and what are the capabilities of this app. And I'm going to leave a link for the template if you want to get the template. It's on every one of my videos, so you can just check it out, and if it's something you're interested, I would appreciate your help. If you have any questions, if something wasn't clear, please leave a comment. If you leave a like too, that would be awesome. That would help a lot. And suggest more videos. What do you want to see created in Notion? What do you want to see me doing here that would really help you? I would be happy to try and make something that could help you. I see you on the next video, and bye.